Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're continuing our journey with EVA Air, but this time in their A330 regional business class configuration as we travel from Taipei to Beijing. If you haven't seen the part 1 of my EVA Air business class review from Vancouver to Taipei, you can find that link in the description below. Now, as much as I love to indulge in some pre-flight shopping, it seems the shops are yet to wake up, so we decided to head up to the lounge. With our EVA Air business class tickets, we are granted access to 2 out of the 4 lounges provided by EVA Air at this airport. Additionally, we have the privilege of using the Singapore Airlines lounge, which is usually a traveler favorite. However, when we checked, it was closed during our visit. As a backup, we also hold a priority pass, which grants us access to the Plaza Premium Lounge. Inside the lounge, we noticed that the 2 sides had different vibes. The left area felt a bit cozier with dimmer lighting. Both sides offered very similar food options. I didn't want to upset anyone, so I didn't really film the buffet area because one of the staff members was giving me a weird look. Since it was a busy morning and we didn't want to miss the chance for a shower, we quickly approached the front desk and we were really lucky as 2 showers just became available without any wait, and of course we're gonna use them. The shower is pretty spacious, but as you can see from the decor, it's just like the airport, somewhat dated. But they do offer more than just the essentials at this shower. You can see they have sleepers here, body lotion, toothbrushes, and hair combs, and yeah, all the goodies that you needed for a shower. And if you look down here, that's not great. Probably from the luggage, I assume, but they probably want to fix that. Now it's time to wake myself up, and I'll see you outside. After our shower, we saw the Plaza Premium Lounge, just a short walk from the EVA Air Lounge. Curious about different food options, we checked it out quickly. However, it was very packed, so we left after a short visit. With some extra time, we decided to hit another EVA Air lounge. This one is smaller but less crowded. Time flies in the lounge, and before we know it, we are off to the gate for boarding. Right outside the window, there is our plane for the day, the A330-300. Registered as Bravo 16337 and ready to take us on our 3-hour flight journey to Beijing. We noticed that they have separate boarding bridges for business class and economy class passengers, making the boarding process a little bit smoother. As we step onto the aircraft, you will notice that the business class cabin is arranged in a 2-2-2 configuration, which is okay for a short-haul flight. However, because this is an A330, the seats are somewhat narrow for a wide-body jet in business class. But on the bright side, the seats are laid flat, so there's not much to complain about. I appreciate the contemporary interior design, which gives the cabin a fresh and updated look. It is noticeable improvement compared to the older 777 cabin on our previous trip from Vancouver to Taipei. Alright, let's do a quick seat tour. Next to your big IFE screen is your clothes hook, and beneath that is your tiny weeny little footrest area. You can't even fit one single shoe in here. Looking back, you have your controller over here with a screen on it. It does look nice. And you have your USB next to it with your headphone jack. Underneath that, you do have yourself a storage area with a cubby holder, and you have a nice firm pillow. And looking on this side, you have a massive dining table. This is probably one of the biggest dining table on this type of aircraft. Behind it, you have your seat control, and underneath here, you have your floating device and the literature holder. The window seat on this particular aircraft is not that ideal. As you can see, not only the footrest is narrow, but your armrest as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard. For your comfort and safety, please place your carry-on bags in the overhead compartment or under the seat.
While sipping on some pre-departure bubblies, the crew comes around to offer lunch options to passengers. It's worth mentioning that just like our previous flight, we pre-ordered our meals, so we didn't get a menu. We had to wait on the tarmac for about an hour due to military activities in the area. And as you can see next to us, this is the Hello Kitty jet. Let's say I got bored, and I'm not gonna tell you how many bow ties are on this side of the jet. 24. With the seatbelt sign turned off, I was able to recline my seat into a fully flat position. As you can see, the foot area is tiny. Not long after takeoff, lunch was served. The appetizer featured the same cold tuna dish. I went for the braised pork with preserved veggie on rice for my main, while my fiancé opted for the beef tripe noodles. Both dishes were delicious. When you eat Asia and the catering is done locally, I find choosing the local cuisine is almost always better than the Western cuisine, but that's just my 2 cents. To accompany my meal, I choose 2 small bottles of umeshu, a Japanese plum wine. I'm a bit sucker for it. I know that champagne is usually the best value you can get in the business class, but I find umeshu just more enjoyable. What about you? What's your go-to drink? As you can see on our IFE, the flight pass is quite unique here. This is because China has a very restricted airspace, especially if you're going into Beijing. And I think without this restriction, our flight could probably save another half an hour in flight time. As we approach Beijing capital, my excitement grows because it means I'm one step closer to reuniting with my family after COVID. I couldn't help but notice that the environment seemed to have benefited from pandemic. I just don't remember the Beijing sky is this blue. We cleared immigration in minutes upon landing at Beijing capital, leaving us with a few hours before our next flight to Dalian. We decided to make the most of our layover by having an afternoon meal with some friends in Beijing, but I forgot to take any video for that part. Nevertheless, upon our return, we quickly sorted our luggage with Air China for our last leg of our journey to Dalian. We made a quick stop at the Air China domestic lounge in Beijing. You know, I've noticed that lounges in China are a bit different. Unless it's mealtime, you won't find full-on meal in domestic terminals. Like this lounge, they have some snacks and a cool tea selection. Oh, and there's open cinema for the kids. But honestly, nothing fancy. And one more thing. I feel like Beijing capital wasn't cranking up their AC. Even in the hot summer, it got pretty toasty, especially on the upper level of the lounge. For our final flight, we hop on a unique one with Dalian Airline. It's actually a subsidiary of Air China with the same logo, same IATA code, and even the same frequent flyer program and everything. The main difference is that it has somewhat different shareholders and they only operate one type of aircraft, which is the 737-800. Like I mentioned, our last aircraft of the day is a 737-800, registered as Bravo 1210, and surprisingly, it's less than 6 years old. However, it feels very dated. The crew greeted us using our last names when we settled into our seats, and they offered a welcome drink and some local newspaper. And that pretty much sums up the service for this 1 hour late night flight. There is no more service for the entire flight. I have to say, I missed that Dalian newspaper. It had local news mentioning streets, area, and shops, and I'm just so familiar with, but just haven't visited for a long while. And it certainly brought back some fun memories.
And other behaviors that disturb the normal movement in the cabin. In accordance with relevant laws and regulations of People's Republic of China, the passenger cabin is a public space.
there you have it, the stunning Dalian coastline, my beloved home sweet home. And on that note, it's time to end. Join me next time as I take you on my trip from Beijing to Singapore on Singapore Airlines A350 Regional Business Class. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. See you in the next one. Cheers.